So here's the thing. Humans are super egocentric. So that means when you or I read something, whether it's a book or an article or an essay, we do it because it relates to us. It's all about me, 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 me. So now imagine for a second that you're an admissions officer at a top university. Every single day, you need to read hundreds upon hundreds of essays from other kids talking about themselves. They have nothing to do with you, and it's all about them saying, I should be in your college because of this reason. You should admit me because of this. I did this. It's gonna get really boring, really fast, and you're gonna hate yourself. You're gonna hate your job, and you're gonna hate all of those kids who are boring you to death every single day, hundreds of times. But then, one day, you find this essay, A Diamond in a Haystack. It's brilliant. It teaches you something. You love it. It captivates you. You can relate to it. It makes you feel something. You're gonna love that kid. And your job as a student applying to these colleges is to be that kid. Make the admissions officer love you by being the exception, by being the diamond in the haystack and writing that essay. That is the diamond in the haystack, rather. So there's a few things you got to do in order to get that essay through. Make an essay that's truly captivating, truly relatable. And that's kind of the steps in this recipe that I made. So the first step was start early. The first ingredient was time. And the reason for that is, if you want to write a good and captivating essay, it needs to be, well, good. Every single word, every single sentence, every single noun, verb, adjective needs to mean something. It needs to convey some message. There should be no wastage, and it should be rich. In order to make a truly rich and powerful essay, it's not easy. You need a lot of time. My general rule of thumb was write double the amount of words. Let's say it's a 650 word essay. Go ahead and write 1,300, 1,500 words. And then spend twice the amount of time you took writing it, just cutting those words down. That's going to make a much richer and much more captivating essay. So the second ingredient rather, was to find a topic that you have a passion for. It's passion. So that's a common word that's thrown all over the place. But there's a reason for that. It's because it's true. If you're truly interested in something, you truly love something, then you're going to be able to write about it for not just 650 words, but 6,000 words. Alright? And you're going to be able to write about it in a knowledgeable way, which just makes things more interesting, more captivating. For example, I truly love fishing, and my essay was about fishing. It's just something that you can wake me up at midnight and say, hey, do you want to go fishing? And I'll say yes, 10 out of 10 times. Actually, right now we are at, well, close by Alligator Lake, the aptly named Alligator Lake. I was actually going to film there, but an alligator chased me right out of the spot over there. And that's another good thing about picking a passion of yours to write about. You'll have lots of stories, like this one right now, that you can write about. So now, let's just quickly go over what a passion can be, or what subject you can pick. First off, it doesn't really matter whether this is academic or, I mean, for God's sake, I picked fishing. There's not many things that you can pick that are less academic than that. If it's video games for you, that's also fine. Maybe you're made $10,000 trading on TF2. I don't know. But that would be perfect. It really doesn't matter. It does not have to be academic. Actually, the less academic it is, usually the more interesting it's going to be. There's going to be lots of essays of kids talking about science fairs, which is fine if it's true for you. But if it's not, don't force it. That being said, it should be something that you have put blood, sweat, and tears into. It should be something that you spent hours just toiling over. You should have done lots of research on it in the past. This isn't something that you went to the theme park one day and just did for fun, once. Alright, ingredient 3. A hook. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you've taken any English literature class or ever written an essay for school, you kind of know what I'm talking about. You want to write an opening sentence, a title, something that's going to make sure that your reader continues and finishes the essay. They're not going to spend too much time on your essay if, say, you don't have a title and your first sentence is, my name is, or I'm doing this, or I should be in your college because. All of those are very bad ways to start your essay because they're boring. They have nothing to do with the admissions officer immediately tells them right off the bat that this isn't going to be about them. So that brings us right to ingredients numbers 4 and 5. Ingredient number 4 was the story. My story was about a time I went wade fishing and got a hook stuck right in my thigh from a messed up cast, hence the title of the essay, The Hook. Play on words, it's terrible. It's not a very interesting story per se, if you know what I mean. It's not like I went and cured cancer. That being said, the way I tried to make it interesting was with step number 5, and that's me. And what I mean by that is I told a story from my perspective. I told a story through the emotions that I felt, and which in my case was embarrassment mostly, off that experience, and what I learned from getting a hook stuck in my thigh. So by telling the story in that way, what you do is you talk about yourself and tell the reader about yourself, while also keeping it interesting for them, because you're allowing them or giving them the opportunity to learn something, the same thing that you learned. And the opportunity to relate to your essay by relating to the emotions that you felt and you're talking about. Whether it's, in my case, embarrassment, could be happiness, joy, whatever it is, anger even. Because everybody's felt those emotions. If you can do that and establish that balance, you're going to have an amazing essay. And those are my 5 ingredients to writing a essay. This obviously isn't the only way to write an essay. There's going to be lots of other formulas and templates. This is just the way I did it. And I'm making this video in response to people asking me how I wrote my essay, and this is how I did it, guys. I really do hope this helped. That's about it.